Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
What's good, everybody? My name is Nico Blitz,
And I'm Jackie Ramirez.
and this is the Mexipino podcast, episode 31.
Yes, sorry.
Yes,
We have
yes,
to
yes.
do the sound effects our own this time.
Yeah, we had to do all of that and whatnot. And, that's because I'm back in the Bay for maybe like another week or so. And then I'll be back in LA in a couple days. By the time you guys hear this podcast, yeah, a couple days. And special announcement, by the time you guys hear the next podcast, we should have a new event on the horizon in the very near
Yes.
future.
Yes, it's going to be super, super exciting. Hopefully, that can all come into fruition. So, we'll be making several announcements, maybe even some merch drops coming soon.
Yeah, a whole bunch of that stuff. So, shout out again to our Patreon subscribers too, because literally as soon as we dropped the first podcast, within 24 hours, we had two Patreon subscribers already. So we appreciate y'all. And, before we start the podcast officially, I do want to shout them out. First and foremost, JR Madrano _ on Instagram. Shouts out to you, JR. We appreciate you over here at the Mexipino
Woo!
podcast. And
JR.
my
Who is
brother
our
from
ver- who was our very first Patreon subscriber.
Yes,
JR was
our
our
very
very first.
first.
So thank
Yeah,
you
so
so much.
JR, you mean so much to us, my friend. So we appreciate you. And also shout out to my bro, Brandon Thesis. One of my friends from out in
Brandon.
LA. Yeah, Jackie, me and Jackie are very hip to Brandon already. And it was funny because I put a tweet out and then I was like, I can't believe we got our first Patreon subscriber. And then he replied to me, he's like, well, I'm the second now. And then I just saw the notification come on. So thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast. We really appreciate it. And, you will reap the benefits of the tier 3 subscription. And
Yeah.
thank you to you if even you're considering on subscribing to our Patreon right now. We really appreciate you.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. If you guys want to check out, those different tiers that we have, there's 3 tiers. We try to make it as cost friendly as we could, which I think we did a really good job at. But yes, that link will be in the description of the YouTube video, in our links in both our bios,
yep,
and on our Mexipino page on Instagram as well, and our TikTok
facts.
page.
Yes. Well, enough about Patreon, boys and girls. Let's get into the actual details of the damn podcast. So, it's
Yes.
actually been super crazy since Jackie and I got back from Seattle, Vancouver. And what
Mhm.
would you say, babe? It was just like event after event after event.
Yeah, I would just say like work was waiting for us.
Yeah, it was definitely waiting for us.
Yeah.
I think for the immediate future, what had happened as soon as we landed from Seattle, Vancouver, Jackie had a couple games to host, and I had a gig that following Thursday.
Yeah. I had what games did I even host? I hosted a Dodger game. I worked at the radio station, and then like I had my first ever UCLA game this past weekend. I'm hosting UCLA football this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I feel like literally I have no life at this point.
What do you mean, no life? That's the best life.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, sometimes. Like constantly working is not like what I want to do for like a long-term thing. I'm just working really hard right now so that way, Nico and I can have a good future later on. But I do not want to like work this hard later on in life.
Y'all see how backwards this is, boys and girls? Like 2 years ago, this is everything she wanted. Now she's like, I don't want to do this.
No, I didn't say I don't want to do this. I did not say I don't want to do this. I'm just saying, like, 10 years from now, I don't want to have to work like 7 jobs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, one of the jobs I ended up doing was this Pilo event. For all of you who don't know, Pilo is a Filipino rapper from the Bay Area, and
Mhm.
he just dropped his album Stunna just a couple days ago. And I gotta say, it's slapping. I
It
think it's safe to
is.
say I was the first DJ to play his entire album in front of
I think
people.
so. I think you were. I think you were. So his album release party was his first one was here in LA in historic Filipino town, very close to downtown LA. which was super cool. I had never really been there. Actually, that's kind of a lie. I used to work around there like a few years ago, but I never really like visited like any of the local stores or anything because I didn't know, like I didn't know what to go and look for.
Yeah.
But it was at this kind of, what was it? A little like a
It's a little
plaza.
plaza. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
plaza, and basically I want to say maybe the owners of the plaza is called Dollar Hits. Well, Dollar Hits is the actual like store that hosted Pilo's Stunner release party. And the
Mm.
reason why it's called Dollar Hits is because it's this little restaurant where basically they have skewers prepared for you. And it went anywhere from like chicken skewers to barbecue skewers. Um, the weenies on the skewers, which Jackie was not messing with at all.
I think I learned something about myself this like at that event because we always like at the station we always ask like some rappers and some artists like what's one struggle food that like you'll leave behind that you'll never eat again. And for me, I feel like it's hot dog like weenies. Like I can't, I don't like just looking at them, like the basic ass like hot dog weenies. I don't like looking at them. I don't like find them like,
Wow.
I don't want to eat them anymore. And I think it's because when I was younger, like my grandma would always make like huevos con weenies, like eggs with weenies. And then like if we wanted a snack, she'll like chop up like weenies and then she'll put like salt and tapatio on it and then we'd eat it and I'd just be like, like I don't like this. Like I don't, but I'm eating it because it's a snack and my grandma made it and I don't want to make her feel bad. So I think like that's one struggle food that I don't want to eat anymore is just like weenies. Like
Weenies are fire.
I'll still have huevos con weenies, but like I think more it's more of like hot link sausages that I like now instead of like hot dog weenies.
So what? Are you still rocking with the Vienna sausage?
No. I
Wow.
don't think so. Like it just makes me like I don't know. I can't. I can't.
So quick story before we get back into this Pilo stuff. Shout out to our producer, Dino.
Yeah.
Growing up, this
Wow, did
man,
he just get promoted?
he is our producer. Well, he produces the content, yeah. But
Yeah.
basically basically growing up, like in high school, this fool would literally have Vienna sausage and rice like every day.
Oh my god. I think I saw a video one time that he put on Instagram where he ate Vienna sausage like out the can.
Ugh.
Yeah, he put a video on that on Instagram one time on his
Out the
story where
can, not even
out the
cooked
can.
it.
No, he
Oh,
ate it
that's
out the
crazy.
can. And Dino, I know you're like watching this obviously because you're producing the content. So like please like text us
What the
because I'm
hell?
pretty sure you did that. I'm pretty sure you posted like a story post on Instagram where you ate the sausage, the Vienna sausage out the can.
First of all, that's kind of disgusting that anyone would think about eating it. That's eating like raw meat, just like out of the packaging.
I
I'm
think he
pretty
did
sure he
it.
was messing around.
No,
No,
I think he did.
no.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure.
I'm so
Also,
sick.
Dino, I guess you can put producer of the Mexipino podcast on your Instagram bio now.
Yeah, and consumer of raw Vienna sausages. Jesus Christ.
I'm pretty sure he did that. I
I'd
remember
literally
something like
gag. I
that.
would gag. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be able
don't
to
know.
finish it.
I don't know.
Would you?
No, I don't even like sausages like that.
That's true. Well, back to this Pilo thing. So basically, it just felt like a block party, y'all. Like it just felt like every single Filipino in SoCal was there. And
Yeah.
when you got there, there was like Filipinos eating on the tables outside. There were people cooking on grills, and don't get me wrong, like the food was already cooked, but they had grills outside just for you to like warm it up and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
some
then
things
they
you
had
did have
the
to cook.
something. Yeah, I think it was like what, maybe the octopus.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
puset.
yeah, the poussette. You definitely had to cook the poussette because that shit looked so raw. And
Yeah.
it was just me and So Super Sam DJing at the event, and it was cool. We got to listen to Pilo's album a little bit before it actually dropped, and oh my god, the freaking Tita Baby over there.
That
She,
was funny.
she like, guys, I've never ever witnessed a better MC than the Tita Baby from Dollar Hits.
I'm
She
sick.
was literally the best MC of all time.
She was funny. Like she was just kind of like she was introducing Pilo and she called him Stunna Pilo and I was just like I'm sick right now.
Sistana, Sistana.
Yeah,
Nasaan si
sí,
P?
Stunna.
She said some shit like, Nasaan si Pilo? I might need the Pilo. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. This lady was so good that she was talking over the music, and even when I was lowering the music, she still wanted the music as high as possible. And
Yeah, so
you would
she
be
was
able to hear her voice above the music.
like I honestly thought like us like Mexicans talk like hella loud. No, Tita Baby over there, she was yelling.
Yelling straight
She was
up.
yelling, and it was cool. I saw Balut for the first time, and
Ugh.
I never want to ever see it ever again.
Well, so when
Like it's a
Jackie,
whole ass like
yeah, it's a
like
whole ass.
real like chick in there.
Yeah. So for people who don't know what balot is, it's basically like an egg fetus, and Filipinos eat it.
It ain't a fetus. It's a whole ass formed like
Yeah, it's a
chicken
whole
there.
chicken.
It has
Yeah.
feathers. The bones were there, and I was just like, "Ugh."
Yeah,
No,
it's
I
kind of
couldn't.
gray. You kind of just slurp it down. It's not the move. I don't really like it.
No, I can't
But
even think of
literally, like as we were in line, like I remember looking over at the lady, and the lady was just like, she was doing like a little tongue motion, like she was
Yeah.
like trying to grab it with her tongue.
I was just like, girl, this ain't oysters. Like,
That's what she made it look like,
she
though.
made it look like that. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, kind of nuts. I really wasn't for it.
No.
However, we did end up spending around like $30 on skewers, damn near.
Yeah, but the skewers were good.
Skewers were good.
I finally like I saw like chicken feet skewers. Ooh. Oh, which also I have a new dad joke. I have a new
Go.
dad joke. I have this is my first ever Filipino dad joke, guys. What kind of shoes do Filipino chickens wear?
What?
Adidas.
But
Because for those who don't know, I guess you say Adidas. I guess chicken feet in Tagalog is Adidas.
yes.
I don't know if that's how you actually say it, but I'm gonna say that's how you say it because it works well with my joke.
It definitely works. I mean, I didn't even know it was Adidas in Tagalog, so I'm like, okay. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, okay, that's where she got it
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
Great joke,
So
babe. Great joke.
thanks. You
But
should
yeah,
tell your
Pilo,
dad that joke and see if he laughs.
I will when he gets back in the house during this
Oh,
heat wave over here in California. But yeah, Pilo's event was like really cool. P just doing his thing. He really just brought together the Filipino community, and everybody came out. The following day, he ended up doing another release party over here at Chase Center in San Francisco, and oh my god, if
that's a
I
really
did,
big deal.
oh no, it's a huge deal. Like
Mm-hmm.
to open up the Chase Center to open up the Chase Center. Sorry, guys, like that's my dog in the back. But to have him have the Chase Center wide open for him and like the event was extremely cool. Pilo performed. I wasn't there by the time Pilo performed. DJ Lex
Mm,
was there DJing, and it was cool, man. It felt like the whole community from California was just out there during that day.
that's so cool.
And I ran into so many of my friends who I just haven't seen in like years. So it was kind of like this weird, like, dude, I haven't seen you in like a decade, bro, type
Wow.
situation.
And like apparently, like a lot of people recognize you from the podcast too.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody who like was saying what's up because of the podcast. It was so much love. I was like, man, I'm just kind of here to chill. I didn't realize people would recognize me from the podcast, but
Yeah.
yeah, so shout out to Pilo. Hopefully we could get him on the show very soon, but he
Yeah.
had a very cool, very cool event. I say all that to say that there was a timeline of events that ended up happening and transpiring the following day, in which
Mhm.
my nephew, now my inaanak, which means godson. Well, now he's my godson because he officially had his baptism.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
baby chance.
Shout out to Chancellor Jace. But how this baptism came about was one of the most difficult things in the world, in which I believe my sister had to deal with. So we actually scheduled his baptism initially on his birthday, which was
Hmm.
in June, and it got canceled because I think somebody had gotten COVID.
I think they did.
Yeah, someone got COVID. I don't know who got COVID, but someone had gotten COVID. And then the second time around, it was just a scheduling issue because me and I believe the godmother Kayla, who is my brother-in-law's sister, couldn't make it at the same time, so we had to reschedule that. And
Hmm.
so third time's the charm. So let me draw it to you this way, guys. My family was like, "Hey, um, the baptism is at 11 a.m. We're gonna leave the house at 10:50 because the Church of the Epiphany is literally just down the street." I'm like, "Cool." So I'm getting ready. I couldn't find my slack, so I just ended up going in a barong that I bought at Pilo's event, and we ended up getting to the church by like 10:55. We get to the church, and it's so dark. It's as if like the church like was never open, and there was just one single guy in there, just praying his ass off, and it was
I
cool.
don't think you should say
What
praying his ass
Yeah, he
off.
he was praying his
You
ass off.
you should
What?
just say praying,
Yeah, but he
babe.
was praying. He was there. I can't imagine how long he was there for. So he was praying his ass off.
Maybe he got a lot to pray about.
Exactly. So
Don't
he
blame the man. Don't like shame him for
well
praying.
well think about it. You don't pray on your butt, you pray on your knees. So you're praying your ass off of the bench.
Anyway, you're not getting that.
Okay, so then he ends up leaving because we're hella loud inside the church. So 11 o'clock hits, and we're just like, okay, a couple minutes late, whatever. Lights are still off. Everybody who's supposed to be there for the baptism was already there. Sabrina, my sister, she checks her phone and she's like, "Oh, like I just checked the schedule. It's actually 11:15." All right, cool. So we wait another 15 minutes. It's 11:15. No one's there. 11:20. No one's there. 11:30. That's when I believe Sabrina or Jason end up calling the priest and is like, "Hey, so who's the priest that's supposed to conduct the baptism?" And he's like, "Oh, let me check." The priest checks, and it turns out he was the one who was supposed to conduct the baptism that day. So he ends up telling us, like, "Hey, I'm going to be about 10 more minutes late, in addition
Oh,
to how late I already have been."
oh my gosh.
So I say all that to say this Filipino priest came to the church huffing and puffing, talking about where's the child, and talking about if I'm yeah, talking about if me and Kayla are ready to be godparents. Like, bro, we were literally ready 45 minutes ago, bro. We were ready. But I say all that to say this Filipino priest was running on all-time high Supreme Filipino time.
That's like so awkward. How does that even happen where a priest forgets about a baptism?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, isn't this your job, bro?
It was so funny because I was talking to your sister too, and then I was just like, "Yo, did you have to make like a donation? Like I say, quote unquote donation to the church?" She goes, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Bro, I would have been pissed. I would have been like, where the hell is this priest? Blah 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 blah."
Hella mad. And I knew it. Like, I knew that in some way, shape, or form, this priest might have forgot because it was way too dark in that church
That's
for a
hella funny.
baptism. And I'm like, bro, like, I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That
Phil-
sucks. It literally took like 3 tries to get Chance baptized.
yeah. And then this priest was just gonna run on Filipino time. And you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to like a party, for example, it's like running on Filipino time is perfectly
That's
okay.
fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, if a party starts at like 5 o'clock and Filipino time will basically just have you show up by like 7 o'clock at night while Jackie's yawning. Um,
Sorry.
and
I've had a long day.
she really has. But uh, you could show up at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and that's fine. But you cannot run on Filipino time if you're gonna conduct a baptism, man. He
Yeah,
he
that
even had he even had the audacity as he's talking and huffing and puffing to be like, "I'm sorry for my tardiness. Is anybody trying to get out of here like really quick?" Like, what do you mean, bro? Where do you have to be?
honestly, this is why I don't want to get married in a church.
I'm like, bro, like this
I'm not about to pay a donation for us to get married in a church if this priest is
for you to
about
be
to be late to
late.
it.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? And then you're asking if we want to leave early. Like, no, conduct the service how you're supposed to conduct this baptism, bro. Like,
That's hella
there's no way
funny.
you're gonna have us like. I mean, yeah, granted, I was hungry. I don't want to say as hell because I was in church. I was hella hungry,
I'm sick.
but we weren't gonna rush the process. But you know what got all of us messed up too is like, okay, let me ask you this:
Hmm.
when is the end of the baptism? When do you think the end
When
of the baptism is?
um
Is there a certain
after
signal?
like
Yeah, after the water, right?
yeah, after yeah, they pure the baby of the water
Yeah,
with
okay.
the holy
So,
water.
yeah, okay. So basically
I
what
would
had
assume
happened
so.
was,
I just know
yeah,
that that's the indication of like there's probably like 10 more minutes max.
no. So basically what had happened was is that the priest, we did the whole ceremony and he had put water on chance, the holy water, and then he was saying and then we sat down. The priest ends up saying, "All right, guys, that was part 1 of the baptism." And literally, we all look at each other like, part 1? Wasn't that the actual baptism? Like, what else are we supposed to do?
Well, he's supposed to give like a what is it? A sermon, isn't it? Is that
He
the
gave,
right
yeah, yeah,
religion?
he gave another sermon afterwards, and then he gave me a candle. And then with this candle,
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. He had to bless the candle in the
yeah, he had to
Bible.
bless the candle, bless the Bible, and then I was gonna give it to Chance, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna give a baby like a candle with a light on it.
No, you hold that, babe.
Oh
That
yeah,
you're
I
not
mean, I
supposed
was
to give it
yeah,
to Chance.
I was holding it, but then my family got hella paranoid because I used to be an altar boy growing up, so then the priest
Mm,
taught me how to take like how to um get rid of the candlelight without blowing
mm,
on it. So what you do is you lick your fingers, you lick your pointer finger and your thumb,
mm-hmm.
and then you put out the candle like that. And then my entire family was like, "What are you doing? You're so extra." And I'm like, "What? It's not gonna hurt. Like what? I'm not gonna burn myself."
You were an altar boy when you were younger. How was that experience?
I mean, it was cool. We had closed doors in the front and the back of my body.
Why would you say that?
What? Closed doors? They weren't
Why
open for they weren't open for business.
why would you say that? Why would you say that?
What?
I'm talking about your experience as an altar boy, not like that type of like
Okay, so
Jesus Christ, babe. Oh my God.
okay, as an altar boy, you want to know the benefits of being an altar boy when you're like in 6th or 7th grade or whatever?
What?
So, in some days, let's say like a Wednesday or something, there would be like random masses throughout the
Mm-hmm.
month. And during those random masses, the altar boys could get called up during class and go to the church and do their thing. So literally the way I saw it, I was like, oh cool, I'm about to get like an hour pass from whatever class I'm in right now. And in addition to that, we get $5 out of it.
You give $5
we
for
got
being an
we got
altar boy every
$5 for all.
mass.
Yes. So the
That's where
check
your donations go, ladies and gentlemen.
the checks were coming in like 7th grade. I was like, cool, I'm getting $5. Shout
I'm
out to
sick.
God.
That's hella funny. It was funny because like when I was younger in church, like I always never knew where like the bell rings were coming from. And then I figured out it was the altar boys.
Oh.
And that was so funny. I felt so gypped when I found that out. I was like, it's not God.
It is God
But
because God
anyway,
because God is in
yeah.
all of us.
Okay, and then it was funny because then like the way I know like mass is about to end too. Like any ceremony in church, the way I know that it's about to end is when they start giving the body of Christ and the blood of Christ. I'm all like, all right, solid. We got another like 10-15 minutes max till this mass is over. I gotta stay awake. Like we could do this, we could get through it. And that yeah, that's super funny. Like I know mass is like when it's quick, I'm all like, oh damn, like it's already like the 40-minute mark and we're already doing the body of Christ and the blood of Christ. Cool. Say less. We're getting out of here early today.
For real. You know what's funny about being in the church again was that when the church was hella dark, Jason was talking about like, man, it's looking kind of, and he's saying this out loud. He's like, man, it's looking kind of sus right now. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, you know, it's so dark in here. Like this remind me of like a movie scene I seen one time.
What
Talking
the-
talking about what is that?
what is what?
Oh, talking about like uh talking about there's like something like creeping in the church or something. And I'm
Oh
like,
hell
bro, hell
no.
no, do not say that. Like I'm not about to
I
look around.
no, I can't do that. I
And
can't. I can't. Mm-mm.
but the funniest part of the entire ceremony was that while Chance was getting baptized, my niece Bria was singing her ABCs the entire time. So so the pre so the
She said,
priest.
"I'm not about to let my brother have the spotlight."
Hell nah. The whole time she was like A B C D E F G, and we're just like, bro, this is hilarious. And
That's hella funny.
oh man, but it was a good time. You know, we ended up just like chilling afterwards at the park, and we had a good Filipino baptism.
That's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad. And wrapped it up with tacos.
Yeah, and we had
Oh,
tacos. I felt so bad because my mom ended up buying so much Filipino food. Like she had bought like pancit, hella lumpia, some beef, and all everyone ate was the tacos.
I'm sick. Really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no. Did your
Because I
mom
just
not know that they were gonna have a taco vendor?
no, I think my well, it was also my mom's birthday too. So happy birthday to my
Uh,
mom. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Happy
So
birthday, Tita.
yeah, it was kind of like a mixture between like, well, Sabrina wanted the tacos for Chance's half, but then my mom wanted the Filipino food for like all the older people too.
Oh,
But shoot, I had like 4 tacos and I was good. I actually overate that day.
really?
Yeah, I super overate that day.
Jesus.
That's all good. Oh man. But speaking of food, Jollibee is officially ranked the number 1 fried chicken in the US of A, ladies and gentlemen.
Period.
Let's
Honestly,
go.
I've been craving Jollibee, to be honest. I just really want a spicy chicken joy meal.
You've been craving Jollibee?
I've been craving the chicken. Like, I can see why it won, like, number one fried chicken in the US. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I think as of more recently, like, people have become aware of Jollibee. So I can see why it, like, moved up in ranks. And it's really good.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really good.
I
I
love
will
it.
say, I can't, and people are gonna like come for me for this, but I can't get into like Filipino spaghetti, and that's just me. That's just me. But Jollibee fried chicken, top freaking tier,
Oh yeah,
top
super top
freaking
tier.
tier.
I think like when I was a kid, the Jollibee spicy chicken was the best thing ever cuz like and I don't know if it was because I was young and I didn't have like my spice glands
Hmm.
acclimated, but it was just so spicy back then, but it was like one of that good spicy where I was like, "Oh yeah, I want this again cuz I want to feel that heat rush that it
Yeah,
delivers to my body."
and honestly, guys, when we were in like Seattle, Vancouver, everybody was raving about Jollibee, like as if we didn't have it here in the US. And I was just like, is
Yeah.
there something special about like Canadian Jollibee? Like, are the prices cheaper or like what's going on here?
Well, I think the Canadians didn't think that we had Jollibee around us, but it's very prominent over here
It
in
is
California.
super prominent. And actually, the first time I had Jollibee, Nico, there was this like pineapple refresher. I will
Mm.
not forget this. We went to Jollibee for my first time, and there was a pineapple refresher drink, and it looked so good. And I told Nico, I was like, "Oh, like I think I want one." And he's like, "Okay, like I'll get it for you." We go up to the counter. He orders all the chicken and everything and all the sides, and then she goes, "Anything else?" He goes, "No, that's it." And I looked at him and I was like, okay, I guess I'm not getting my pineapple refresher. And so then I didn't say anything, and then he walks away and he goes, "Are you excited?" I was like, "Yeah, but I was excited for my pineapple refresher." He goes, "Oh my God, I forgot." I was like, "Dog, I literally told you right before you ordered." I still think that you just didn't want to get me that pineapple
No, I just
refresher.
forgot. I just forgot.
Babe, how
Ne-
could you forget in a minute?
well,
In a minute.
next time, I'll just turn to you and be like, "Is there anything else that you'd like?"
No.
Or you should
Babe,
have
you should
said,
remember. You should
but
remember. As my boyfriend, you should remember what it is that I want.
but you also should have said something like right before I ordered it, like, "Oh, don't forget the pineapple refresher."
No, because then I don't want to seem hella like pushy about it.
I mean, pushy. It's just a pineapple refresher, which is really
Okay,
good,
you're
by the
right.
way.
Yeah,
But
but
you know what? You know what had me like really messed up though was
uh,
that because we were talking about Jollibee so much, and I actually did a little bit of research, right? So this is how the United States just continues to mess us up dollar wise. So
inflation.
inflation, it's crazy because over here in California, you could get a one-piece chicken joy with spaghetti and a drink for $6.91. And in the
Mhm.
Philippines, you could get it for 125 pesos. And that is equivalent to $2.20. You know what that means? That means for the same price you pay over here in California in the USA, you could get 3 of that same meal in the Philippines.
I'm sick. That's hella
California, the
funny.
United States got us messed up. We
You
paying
want to
triple
know?
the price for the same meal.
You want to know real inflation?
What?
Bottle service here in the U.S. is literally like $400 for one like cazadores bottle in the clubs or in lounges. But in Mexico, bottle service is 25 US dollars. You realize how much bottle service we could get in Mexico? We look like straight up narcos over there, babe. Like,
Oh, for real. So, okay, let's just say a bottle was hypothetically $500. So that's 10 bottles for the price of one. You get
that's
messed
so
up on 20.
dumb.
That's crazy how you can get messed up off of the same price. I mean, you're
Bottle
basically
service?
trashed for the night. You're done.
Yeah.
You basically bought the whole club bottles.
And guess what? In Mexico, you could take the bottles home. Over here, you can't take them home.
That's
The fuck?
crazy.
That's that's
That's
a jip.
insane.
That's a jip right there. Like bottle service here is a jip. The way to go is bottle service in Mexico.
Or just bottle service in any other country. But
That's the
yeah, like,
facts too.
but I mean, like Mexico, what? It'll take us maybe like a couple hours just to drive down. We could find like a cool bar restaurant over there. Like, I'm wondering like how much money we would actually just need to bring if we just like crossed the border and wanted to get like, like food over there. Probably
Oh,
super
not that
cheap.
much.
Like probably
Not
like
that
20
much.
bucks. I feel like 20 bucks will last us like a whole
Three
day.
days
3 days?
probably. Like if we just ate tacos and like like street food, which is honestly like the best type of food to eat in Mexico.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Wasn't there like some snack thing that you wanted to talk about on the podcast?
Yes. I actually wanted to bring up, and I'm actually gonna send Dino these like screenshots of like these cookies. But I saw on We Are Mitu's Instagram page a kind of like a poll, I guess, of which galletas are the best. Now, if you guys don't know what galletas are, those are Mexican cookies.
Mm,
And so I saw this, and basically the first galleta box, like there's a lot of Mexican like cookies. Actually, there
okay.
actually is. And so the first one is called Varas de Coco. So you guys can, if you guys are on YouTube, you guys can see it on the screen right now. But it's basically like coconut bars. And those are really good. I've had every single one of these cookies. And then
Okay.
the second one, I'm pretty sure my Filipinos know this, but these are the Danish butter cookies that come in the aluminum tin.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
that's the
good.
second one. Also, if biggest ripoff around like Christmas time, if you see the aluminum tin cookies, don't be fooled. There's no cookies in there. It's just sewing kits and needles and threads because our grandmas and our moms have literally traumatized us. There's no cookies in there.
That's hella
Don't even
funny.
try it. And then number 3 is sponge, which
Okay.
is literally I think it's like as if I was saying sponge
Oh, because it looks like a
because it's
sponge.
very spongy.
Sponge.
Sponge, sponge. And they're marshmallow cookies, so it has like marshmallow and then like strawberry, like sugared like strawberry gummies on a
Okay.
cookie. And then there's the Maria cookies. Maria cookies are fire. Maria cookies are fire. I love Maria cookies.
Okay,
And
so let me ask you this. How would you rank like the uh top padilla? You said padillas?
galletas.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what
Yeah.
galletas. Okay, so how would you rank your top 5 galletas?
Ooh, my Mexican galletas. I would
Yes.
have to go based off these pictures. Ooh, I would have to go number 5. Damn. Number 5 would have to be sponge,
Okay.
the marshmallow cookies. Number 4 would have to be
Okay.
damn. I would say the butter Danish aluminum cookies.
Okay.
Number 3, damn. This is getting hard. Okay, number 3 is gonna be the strawberry and chocolate like wafer cookies.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. What are
Yeah,
those called?
though they're just like little wafer ones. I don't know if it. I know the brands. The one of the brands is Baduco,
Okay, okay.
and then they're like this. But
Oh,
like
those
you
are
give,
fire. Those are
I
fire.
love wafer cookies, but okay, and then so that's number 3. Number 2, I would have to say is Maria cookies,
Okay.
and you
Is it
can
really that
honest.
good?
Yeah, I love Maria cookies. Maria cookies are so good. You can always have them with hot chocolate. You can have them with milk. Like they're just
Ooh.
good. And then we give them to like they just melt in your mouth because then
Yeah.
like we also give them to babies too. Like Isla, for those who don't know, Isla is my niece, but we give her like Maria cookies because when she didn't have teeth, like she would just kind of like let it melt in her mouth. But my number one galleta, Mexican galleta, is canelitas.
Canalitas for the win.
Canelitas, they're cinnamon cookies. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love them so much. They're like frosted
Dang.
cinnamon sugar cookies. Like, yeah. Oh
I don't
my
know.
god.
I don't know how I would
I
feel about
love
the
them.
cinnamon though. Cinnamon,
It
really?
works. It works. It's like it's not like the cinnamon isn't like in your face. It's just like a hint of cinnamon and it's like sugar like flakes. It's
Okay.
so good. It's so good. I love having that around like Christmas time with hot chocolate, with the
Mm.
abuelita's chocolate. Wow.
Abuelita's chocolate. That's a thing, or that you're just saying your grandma's chocolate.
No, like that's an actual thing.
Oh, that's an actual
Like that's
branded like food.
yeah, like abuelita's hot chocolate is an actual thing. Like hold
Oh,
on.
I thought you just meant like your grandma's hot chocolate.
No, it's a chocolate tablet. Like it's in like a little like box and it's chocolate tablets and you break them apart and then you just kind of put them
Mm.
in like the boiling milk. Look, it's literally abuelita.
Oh, shout out to Abuelita. That's cool. That's dope.
Yeah.
I might have to try that. I'm a sucker for hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
But
really good.
let me oppose you though, because the way I would flip your list around in like a Filipino version would
Mhm.
probably put the Danish cookies at the top, right? So
Right.
basically, because in the Philippines, they have constructed the greatest snack of all time. And the greatest Filipino snack ever in general is just Skyflakes.
Skyflakes?
Yeah, Skyflakes. So if you don't know what Skyflakes are, it's basically just like these crackers that you can eat it by yourself. You can eat it with soup, and they're just really good. But the best thing about it is that it comes in that tin foil, or that tin can rather. And I shit you not, Filipino parents always use it for like jewelry, for knitting supplies, collectibles. I'm sure I've had my Pokemon cards in there at one point in
I'm
my life.
sick. That's
So it's
hella
kind of
funny.
like it's a 2-for-1. It's like good enough to use for everything. But then when you're done with the container, you can use it for a whole bunch of other stuff. So you don't have to buy a container.
I respect that. I respect that because we do the same thing with the Danish cookies. Only we just put like strictly sewing kits in the Danish cookie aluminum can container.
It's always the sewing kits, huh? Like
It
it
is
really
always the
is.
sewing kits. Like legit, we have one right now.
No, yeah, my grandma has one too.
Yeah, and I don't know how long we've had that like tray of sewing kits from that aluminum can. It's like it's so old. I remember like I remember it from like 6 years old. That's how old that
Oh
can
my
is.
god.
And it's
And
sewing kits in there.
it's the
It's how
same one.
it's the same one. It's the
That is
same
hella
one.
funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. But so Skyflakes, it's like a cracker. It's not like a
Mom, do we have any
I
Skyflakes here? Oh no, my mom's like, I don't even be eating Skyflakes like that.
don't
Yeah, so it's basically just like, like the complimentary crackers that you would get like whenever you buy soup.
like a saltine cracker.
Yeah, it's like a saltine cracker basically, but it's
Mm,
Skyflakes, so it's better.
period. Okay.
You know what I mean? Tell me you're
Okay.
Filipino without telling me you're Filipino. Skyflakes. Know what I'm talking about? Um, Speaking of Filipinos, we want to end this podcast with some Filipino news and also some Mexican news that you may have
Yes.
not known. So we want to give a huge shout out to the world's first COVID-19 vaccine administrator. Rather, she administrated the
Whoa, hold
vaccine.
on.
I said that
Nico
completely wrong.
yeah, Nico completely butchered that. The
Shouts
first person
to
to ever.
ever administer the COVID-19 vaccine.
Just start that over again, bro.
The first person to ever administer the COVID-19 vaccine was this Filipino British nurse by the name of May Parsons. So shouts out to her. She actually just got
Wow.
recognized earlier this year. And
Oh, sick.
yeah, and she actually got the George Cross Medal from the Queen. Yeah, so
Ooh, she met homegirl Lizzie.
yeah, Queen Lizzie, you feel me? Queen
How we feel
Lizzie,
about the royal family? How do we
Queen
feel about
Lizzie,
the
you
royal?
fucking what?
Careful.
I know. I was gonna say something completely off-putting for Americans. Anyways, guys,
Honestly, I love
we'll
keeping up with.
we'll see
I
you
lo-
next Tuesday. You feel me?
yeah, I honestly I love keeping up with royal family drama. Ash, it's
You
like,
you
yeah,
really?
yeah, I love it because they're so problematic, and everyone's like, who the hell needs a royal? Who needs a queen at this point? Like to run the country?
I mean, she old as hell. God bless her soul, though. Hey, but hey, I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't want to get into politics, but
Honestly,
I'm just saying, if you have one
that
person run the
woman,
entire country, everything's gonna be the same.
honestly, that woman like refuses to die. She
Yeah,
refuses to die. I don't know how old Queen Lizzie is, and I don't know if it's disrespectful to call her Queen Lizzie, but I'm gonna do it anyway because us Americans do that. But
Jesus
um,
Christ.
but I think she's like 90 something, and
We
homegirl is like she like got through COVID. I was like, dog, you the most at risk person, and how you gonna like?
not
She's
really.
96.
Not really. I mean, think about it. Like, she probably has the best food, the best doctors, literally the best of anything you could think of. She has at her disposal, like with the snap of her finger. I'm not
Also,
surprised she's that old.
also, um, fuck Prince Charles. I just want to put that out there. I want to put that out there because Prince Charles, you know what you did. So fuck off. That's all I want to say on that.
Want to
Prince
explain?
Charles,
Want to explain to the people who don't know what's going on? Because I don't even
yes,
know what's going on.
Prince Charles is the son of Queen Lizzie. He's supposed to be the heir to the British throne. And he was married to Princess Diana, who was probably the most humanitarian person in that whole ass royal family. And I believe that the royal family had her killed because they didn't like her because she was such a humanitarian and she called out Prince Charles on his bullshit because guess what? He was unfaithful and cheated on her with Camilla, which is now his new wife. So fuck Prince Charles, fuck Queen Lizzie, and fuck the royal family because y'all know what you did. Y'all know what you did and you did my girl Diana wrong. That's all I got to say on that matter.
Was she a Disney princess?
Princess Diana, no, babe.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
But yeah, and then so yeah, that's our Filipino news that turned into the royal family news.
Jesus Christ. You want
But
to tell
I
everybody
wanna,
the Mexican news?
yes, I want to tell everybody Mexican news. Um, so we were like Nico has been doing the series on his social media with DJs. Let me restart that. Nico has been doing DJ content on his social media, and he's basically been giving out like people or artists that you didn't know who are Filipino. So then I started thinking, I'm like, who are people that like are Latino that we didn't know are Latino and they're actually like celebrities. So I looked it up, and turns out, oh shoot, Kid Cudi is part Mexican.
That's crazy. I like
Kid
legitimately would never have guessed that.
I wouldn't have guessed it either. Apparently, his dad, on his dad's side, he's Mexican.
Yeah. So I think he's like black, Mexican, and Native American.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I literally just would have never guessed. And
Yeah, it's
not that he like bangs it or anything, or
no,
you know what I mean?
but
But it's
like
like,
it's a cool thing to like know.
do you
I
feel
just thought,
represented by Kid Cudi now?
not really, but like I think it's pretty cool. I wouldn't say that I'm like, shout out Kid Cudi, like I respect it. I mean, I think if Kid Cudi like maybe presented it more, I mean he could have, and maybe I just didn't see it. But I think if he presented it more, I would have been like, oh shit, sick, like cool, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel more represented. But also too, hold on, let me get this information right because I don't want to like screw it up. Another person you didn't know was Mexican is the comedian Louis C.K.
Which is so ironic and funny to me.
Yeah, and actually he speaks very fluent Spanish. Like he lived in Mexico City up until he was 7 because his dad was like that's his dad's home country obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's funny because like there are light skinned Mexicans and like white Mexicans, and he is like red hair and white.
Yeah, I mean, he like honestly, when I just look at Louis
Hmm.
C.K., I would have just never assumed he's Mexican at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess even the content that he talks about wouldn't necessarily like, I wouldn't be able to make the comparison. For instance, like like when we had Jesus Sepulveda on the podcast, it's like a lot of
Hmm.
it went back to like family trauma in like Mexican households. And again, maybe it's just Louis C.K. not necessarily talking about that part of his actual cultural background,
Right.
but again, it's just something that I never would have guessed.
Yeah,
A little
exactly.
off-putting, but hey, shouts out to Louis C.K.
Shout out to Louis C.K. Also, shout out to Fergie because apparently she's Mexican too. Oh wait,
Fergie.
actually, let me check if she's Mexican. I think she might be something else. Actually, I think she might be Ecuadorian. Hold on.
We ain't fact checking right here.
We are fact checking because I don't want to get like
Canceled.
canceled and be given shit. So let's see. Da, 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 da. I like how in every list Louis C.K. is the first one because no one would believe it.
I know it's. I mean, again, it's off-putting. Is Fergie Mexican? How am I gonna pull it up before you, babe?
I don't know.
Fergie
'Cause
Taboo
I
is the
lost.
only P of the Mexican descent. In addition to being part Irish, Scottish, English, and Native American, Fergie also has part of her ancestry from her great grandmother from Mexico.
Period.
So she
Okay.
is Mexican.
She is Mexican.
Shout out to
Jessica
Fergie.
Alba, also Mexican.
Okay.
Yes. And I saw that you put a name on here. Tori Kelly's Mexican.
That's what you said. Yeah.
I didn't say Tori Kelly was Mexican.
Yeah, you did on the list. You literally said Tori Kelly is Mexican.
I did not say that, did I?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Tori Kelly's Mexican.
Oh, wait, no. Her
That's what I'm
father
saying.
is of Jamaican and Puerto Rican ancestry, while her mother is of
See?
Irish and German descent. Okay, never mind.
Okay. So Tori Kelly is Puerto
Not
Rican.
Mexican.
She's Puerto Rican.
Yes,
She's
she's Puerto
Latino.
Rican.
She's Puerto Rican. She's not Mexican. So fact checks on that. But yeah, those are
Yeah.
some celebrities you guys didn't know were Latino/Mexican. Now you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Still kind of like shook on Kid Cudi and Louis C.K. Those were the most like out there ones that I was just like, what the heck?
yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to them. Shout out to Kid Cudi. Maybe one day we can get like a Kid Cudi like a bachata song, or like a
I'm
Kid Cudi
fucking sick with
like
a
Kid
like
Cudi.
a bachata beat.
Yeah, or like Kid Cudi on like some cumbias. That'd be the illest shit.
Interesting.
No, no, no.
You know who?
Kid Cudi on some rancheras.
I'm sick.
That would be the illest shit ever. That would be cool. Kid
You
Cudi
know,
on rancheras?
yeah. I mean, it'd definitely be something. You know who Aubrey Plaza is from
No.
Parks and Rec? She's Puerto Rican descent.
Okay.
She doesn't really look like it. Bruno Mars apparently is also of Puerto Rican descent. So shout out my guy Bruno Mars. He's Latino and Filipino.
Yeah.
Period.
He on both
His
sides. How about that?
his real name is Peter Hernandez. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Peter Hernandez?
Bruno Mars has the most Latino ass name. Bruno Mars' real name is Peter Hernandez. He's half Puerto Rican, half Filipino.
Well, that's why he had to change his name. Like,
Yeah.
I knew Bruno Mars wasn't like his actual name, and it just sounded really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have also never guessed his actual name's Peter Hernandez.
Yeah, but apparently he like changed his name to Bruno Mars because he didn't want to be stereotyped in the music industry because I guess like they would expect him to do Latin music and he
Yeah.
didn't want to be like subbed into that because of his name, so he changed his name because he brought up in like a GQ interview one time that he doesn't want like it's like Enrique Iglesias. You hear the name Enrique Iglesias and you automatically think this person is either doing Latin music, only speak Spanish or whatever. So imagine a world where Bruno Mars is
Just went
named
by
Peter
Peter
Hernandez. Yeah, it just
Hernandez.
went by
Yeah.
Peter Hernandez.
Yeah.
Are you
I
going to
mean,
be inclined to hear Peter Hernandez or Bruno Mars?
I think if you're going for like a worldwide type audience and doing the music that Bruno Mars is currently doing, then yeah, I would definitely understand the name change.
Yeah.
But relatively speaking, I think if you did solely want to do like Hispanic music and in that realm, I think Peter Hernandez actually would have been better.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how like a name change like that would have changed the trajectory of his entire career.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not saying people wouldn't have listened to like a Peter Hernandez, but
Yeah.
I think a very specific group of people, basically just people who like, who understand and speak Spanish, if he ever
Mhm.
decided to go that realm, would have been more inclined to listen to that first.
Yeah. Also, another person that I just found out was Mexican, Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman, she is Pulp Fiction, you know.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Uma Thurman, her mother was born in Mexico. And her dad is a Buddhist. and is personal friends with the Dalai Lama.
Okay, what? So she. Okay, wait. Are you sure? Like, born in born in Mexico,
Her mother was born in Mexico.
but is her mother Mexican?
As well, she has Mexican descent.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I was just wondering if it was a situation where it's like what's his name, Elon Musk being born in Africa.
Oh no, we're not gonna go that far.
No, I'm just saying because like you know what I mean. Like we're born in the
Yeah.
United States. We're not like Native American.
Yeah. No, I
You know what
get
I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Did I say Jessica Alba?
yeah, you did.
Yeah. Okay.
You did.
Cool.
Well, boys and
Period.
girls, thank you so much for listening to the Mexipino podcast. No, episode 31. We're on our way to episode 40. And hopefully we can get Pilo on the next podcast and whatnot. But
Yes.
yeah, hopefully you guys learned a little something today. A lot of fun, lighthearted information that we shared on this podcast for you guys.
A lot of random information too. If
Yeah,
anybody wants me to get really into the royal family stuff, let me know. I'll make a series on my Instagram talking about the royal family. I don't give a shit.
damn, you don't want to talk about the royal family on the podcast?
Well,
You could do
because
a
I don't
whole
know. I don't know if anybody like wants to like, if everybody's interested in the royal family like that. But if you guys also want me to do it on the podcast too, I can like teach Nico about the royal family and what went down. You know what we should do, babe? Tonight we should watch The Crown on Netflix. That explains how fucked up the royal family is.
I mean, I'm down.
Period.
We could talk about the royal family for an entire podcast. I'm not tripping.
But if you guys want to know, if you guys want us to talk about the royal family for an entire podcast, I will literally make a PowerPoint so that way I can make
Jesus
sure that
Christ.
I get every single detail for you guys.
All right. Well, that's that. Shouts to the royal family. Shouts out to the queen, and shouts out to May Parsons. And most importantly, shouts out to y'all, man. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially our Patreon subscribers. We appreciate you 1,000%. And hopefully by the next podcast, we will have a brand new event that we will be presenting to each and every one of you that you may or may not be able to attend. So we will see, my friends.
Yes.
One-
I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay. Well, my name is Nico Blitz.
My name is Jackie Ramirez.
And this is the Mexipino podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Gracias. Dios.
Bye.